And Simba is still the most innovative digital platform, because even other clubs that follow us, they use Simba as the benchmark, right? So Simba measures itself based on where we want to go. And other clubs measure themselves based on where Simba is at. And so that's why we keep on moving forward, because we think about where we want to go.
One day I was sitting around with a group of people and they were talking about you. I think I told you about this when we met at the awards ceremony. I told you that people are complaining. They're saying that this given guy is very greedy. He goes to every awards and he takes them. Why don't he just leave it to the young and upcoming entrepreneur? What do you have to say about this criticism?
I don't know if greedy is the word I would use. I think it's just the fact that, like I said, also most of these awards I don't apply to. It just happens that I'm mentioned in them. And apart from that, I've been very intentional about not being vocal or not participating. But I hate the idea of pushing back just for the sake of what people think. My reason for pushing back, as I had told you, is because I don't want to be the face of my businesses, because I want the businesses to have the identity of their own. That's one. But two, it's because I measure myself by different metrics right now, not necessarily by the number of awards I have. Matter of fact, I've been very intentional about that, to a point whereby you see during that night, that awards night, where we had met, as you had said, you saw that we were nominated for Simba, and I told you I'm there for Simba. What you didn't know is that Mtabe was also nominated that night.
Okay.
And I just didn't mention it anywhere or ask anybody to vote at all. And that was intentional, because I'm not trying I'm not trying to get awards for the sake of awards. And I'm also trying not to be the face of it. So that night was specifically for Simba, right? And truthfully, I think if any person feels like I'm getting too many awards or whatever, I think the question they could be asking themselves is, why does that affect them? And I mean that in the nicest way possible, because it could be that they feel they deserve it more. It could be that they feel I'm getting them out of favors. Now, if they feel they deserve it more, that's well and good. They can just work towards getting those awards, right? They can just work towards proving them. It can be that their goal becomes getting that award from me, and they can do that again. It's anybody's game. But really, it's really beneficial when you ask yourself why something bothers you, because that could be a point of growth. Maybe you might think I'm greedy, but in truth, you're just feeling some type of way because you feel you should have gotten an award and you haven't. And it's a total normal human tendency. I don't mind it, but I'm saying it's something to ask yourself. I do too. One thing that I never allow to get to me, I try to avoid being the person who has a bad eye towards people. That means feeling jealous. That means feeling people don't deserve something. I try to avoid that. That doesn't mean I don't get those feelings, but I stop those feelings the moment they start, because they bring out something in me that I need to address. If I ever feel jealous, the first thing I ask myself is, why do I feel that way? Why do I feel I deserve that? Why do I feel they don't deserve that? Could it be because I'm feeling insecure about something? And if so, what is that thing? And what can I do to feel better? Why do I feel like they are greedy? Why do I feel like they don't deserve it? Is it because I feel I'm putting a lot of efforts and they're getting it without putting efforts? If so, what is the difference? Is it that I'm not exposing myself enough? Or is it that I'm using too much effort while doing it the wrong way? Because you might use a lot of efforts doing the wrong thing. And so I try to ask myself so many questions when these feelings surface, and that's what has helped me elevate, because I don't take those feelings as fact.
Yeah.
Feelings come, I allow them to exist, I allow them to go. But first I will open them up and figure out where they come from, and try to see that as a point of learning. And that's something that I think has been very beneficial, and I think a lot of people could try do that, because whatever you feel, it can be anger, it can be sadness, it can be jealousy, treat it like, step outside from yourself and look at it from the outside looking in. Why do I feel the way I feel? And that can point you towards things you need to work on as a person to become better, because that's how you're able to even grow. Sometimes you're unable to stand in front of people and speak because you have so many insecurities about yourself that you haven't addressed, and they show in small things. They show in the way you talk about others, they show in the way you feel about others, how you feel about yourself. But if you can address those things, you'll even move better going forward.
So